نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So we have discussed the doors are open. So we have discussed from Tahara about the things that are pure and impure and how to purify, and to make wudu and to make ghusl. And from there we've discussed salah, the conditions that if one fulfills, salah becomes compulsory upon him, and the conditions that a person needs to fulfill in order for his salah to be valid. Also, we have discussed the arkan of salah, the pillars of salah, and we have discussed the wajibat, or what some ulama call sunan ba'diyya of salah. Yani the acts, if you intentionally leave, many ulama say your prayer is invalid. But if you accidentally leave, if you intentionally leave, many ulama say your prayer is invalid. But if you accidentally leave, then they are replaced by sajdatu as-sahw, right? And then we discussed the sunan. Today, also last time what we discussed was the makruhat and the position of the imam and the ma'mum. Today we will inshallah discuss some of the mubtilat. Some of
in the wajibat it's also the Subhana Rabbil Azim follow through, right? It's wajib.
According to some ulama, yes.
So if for instance if someone says in Sujood example, instead of Subhana Rabbil Ala he says by mistake Subhana Rabbil Azim, but when he was getting up he remembered. So he has to repeat the whole rak'ah, right?
No.
Only sajda.
Only sajda. That is according to fuqaha who say it is wajib. But the majority of fuqaha, they don't say it is wajib. So even if you don't do sajda to saw, inshallah your salah is valid. Now, today we will discuss the mubtilat of salah. The mubtilat of salah, which means the nullifiers of prayer. The things that you do and then your salah is invalid. So, leaving a prerequisite or a rukn intentionally without excuse. يعني, leaving the shart of salah or the fard of salah intentionally with no excuse. For example, one of the prerequisites of salah is to face the qibla. Is to face the qibla. For no excuse, if you move yourself away from the qibla, your salah is invalid automatically. If you leave a rukn, intentionally, your salah is invalid unless you have an excuse. If you are ill suddenly in salah, for example, and you cannot stand up, then you're allowed to go and sit. You're not leaving a rukn intentionally. Or you are leaving a rukn intentionally but with an excuse of illness. So that doesn't invalidate the salah. However, if you miss a rukn unintentionally, accidentally, then you have to go back to that rukn. You have to go back to that rukn, right? Some fuqaha, they say as long as you have not started, if I'm not mistaken, the recitation in the next rak'ah. But either way, some fuqaha, they say if you reach the same point, you have to repeat to that rukn that you missed as long as you have not entered the same point in the next rak'ah. For example, if you miss a sujood in rak'ah number 1, so as long as you are not in sujood in rak'ah number 2, you have to return to sujood from rak'ah number 1. Right? If you remember while making ruku' that inna lillah, I forgot a sujood, you cancel your ruku' and you go make sujood. You complete that rukn.
After sujood again he go back to Fatiha again?
Yes, from the beginning.
Breaking the salah is not allowed.
Breaking the salah intentionally for no reason is not allowed. Now, However, if you complete until the next sujood,
I mean, for mistakes, breaking of salah is not allowed. That's my question. When I forgot the sujood, so I can restart the salah, or I will do the.
no, you will return.
Yes, it
You will
is.
return. Not break the salah.
Yeah, not break the
You will
salah.
return. You will return.
And if you have done the niyyah of another namaz unintentionally, like if you did the intention of asar instead of zuhr, then you will break and redo it, or you will just remind yourself.
Yani, the thing with that is, if you have made, for example, the niyyah of Asr in the time of Dhuhr, Asr has not started. So your salah is not valid from the beginning, because you cannot start a salah when the time has not started. Right? Yes.
What about the vice versa? When we are in the Asr, but we have to pray Dhuhr, like when we are combining the prayers. But I forgot I did not pray the Dhuhr, so I made the niyyah for Asr, but I had to pray Dhuhr first.
According to many fuqaha, according to some fuqaha, in the Shafi'i madhab, for example, if you combine the prayers, right, and you enter the next salah time. For example, you are delaying Dhuhr until Asr time, and then Asr time enters, you can pray Asr first before Dhuhr. But it is preferred to pray Dhuhr before Asr. It's preferred to pray Dhuhr before Asr. Wallahu a'lam. That is the opinion according to Shafi'i madhab. But in general, it is preferred to follow the tartib when doing the prayers. Now, however, if you miss out, for example, a sajda in rak'ah number 1, and you remember after doing a sajda, the same sajda in the next rak'ah, then the first rak'ah cancels. First rak'ah cancels, and you start with that rak'ah as rak'ah number 1. So basically, rak'ah number 1 is cancelled because it was incomplete. Rak'ah number 2 becomes rak'ah number 1. واضح? Clear?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes. So now, for example, you have missed out a sajda in rak'ah number 1. But you did not recall that until you went and completed the same sajda in rak'ah number 2. Right? So in that case, the first rak'ah completely becomes nullified. Okay? It becomes nullified, and you start with the second rak'ah being rak'ah number 1.
And is it same for the ruhu?
Yes, any fard. Fatiha as well. Yes.
Fatiha, yes.
That's the one.
Fatiha, I have experience, and I must tell, in City Center Mosque, long time before, speak about 15 years, I was from Maghrib Imam,
Okay.
and first rakah, normal I pray. Second rakah, I forget Fatiha at
Yes.
all. Start directly in Surah.
Allah Akbar.
And I don't know, one guy, maybe or two guy, maybe remember, they see that, but nobody follow. And when I pray fourth rakah, I wake up for one rakah more because Fatiha didn't was, and mostly didn't wake up. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. But I didn't sit because I know what I do, and somebody didn't pray. They give salam. Somebody follow Imam, okay, but was little bit who follow Imam. And after I told brothers, it happened like this. Second rakah didn't was Fatiha at all. Nobody says Subhanallah. I remember in third rakah, it come like this, because Jamaat need to say somebody Subhanallah, because something happened. But nobody tell nothing, and I also after remember. And I pray 5 rakah. Because for second rakah was like in third rakah I come. You know,
Maybe 4 rak'ah altogether.
4, yes.
Yeah, 4, yes.
Maghrib.
It's correct.
Yeah.
Because the second
But
rak'ah was without Fatiha.
Jamaat was, that time was okay, not so much information, you know, they didn't understand, like somebody still didn't give salam. Many told me, I give salam because I pray 3. You pray 3, but Fatiha didn't was there.
Yes, Fatiha was not there.
And like this happened. For this I have experience because I remember it happened, and I remember if Fatiha is not,
Yes,
it's
Fatiha
not
is
valid salah.
Yes, Fatiha is rukn. Yes, sister.
Question. So if one person forget the sujood, then he went to the second rak'ah, and then make ruku. He now remembered the sujood, so he go to the sujood for the first rak'ah, and then he continue again from Fatiha.
You continue from where yes. So if you go to sujood, and if it's for example the first sajda, then after that you sit for the sitting between two sajda and you complete your second sajda. Yani you count as whatever came after that missed out sajda, you count that as invalid. And you start from that point that you missed onwards.
The second sajda will complete the first one.
Yes, the second sajda will complete the first rak'ah. But if you missed out the first sajda, you go back to the first sajda. And then you start from there. You start from there as if you did not do anything.
You do the both sajdas.
Yes, if you miss the first sajda, you do both sajdas.
Yes.
I mean, if you miss the both sajdas, of course, sorry. If you miss the first sajda, you obviously missed both sajdas. My apologies.
Yeah, but
So technical.
But if you miss the second sajda, yani, you go back to that. Now, eating or drinking intentionally. Eating or drinking intentionally breaks the salah. Right?
For example, if there's like morsel of food in somewhere between the teeth, I cannot throw it out or I cannot do anything. What do I do with it?
You can throw it out. In fact, if you, some ulama before, if they had something in their mouth, they would take a piece of cloth or something. Now we have tissue, you can put something there. That is perfectly fine, right? Before also the mosque's floor was sand, right? So they used to spit on the left. To spit to the front or right is not allowed, right? It's not allowed. But to spit to the left or between, be under your feet where you can bury it. And also if you spit in the mosque, you have to, this is theoretical for us because our mosque is covered. No one spit, please. But they used to have sand, so you need to cover it. Yes. But if it's a small morsel, some ulama they say if it is the amount of a hummus, or less smaller than a hummus, and then you accidentally swallow that, no problem. Right? Also, if it's raining, in some books of the fiqh they say, if it's raining and 1 or 2 drops of water accidentally fall into your mouth, your salah is still valid. Right? Because if you are praying in the rain, of course something will come to the mouth. So these are forgiven.
So with less than
a date or something?
Less than a
I
chickpea.
smell
See, I
about
think
Taraweeh.
almost.
Somebody eats it. Boom.
Yeah.
No, they're taking chewing gum.
so with less than a chickpea, can you swallow?
Yes, accidentally, if I'm not mistaken. If you,
I told
yeah,
him
it's
you need
forgiven.
also to do
It's
this.
forgiven. That amount is forgiven.
Not intentionally,
No,
even if
that
it
is
is
not
just
acceptable.
small. Let's swallow.
And he say, why?
That, to be honest, I have to check. I checked that. You asked me that last time, and I checked it, but I forgot it. What I remember is that if it's unintentional, it is forgiven. Yani, as in, if something stays in your mouth before salah, and then accidentally, goes the amount of this is forgiven. I mean, chickpea is forgiven. But taking in salah something, no. Even if it's a chickpea, you can't.
Hiding something in your pocket.
Allah musta'an. And chewing gum, no. I mean, especially those that have taste.
Khalil saw him and told him when young he speak but he doesn't say something I don't. He told he say haram. He said, no, it's not haram, but it's not a lot. It's not salat.
Allah musta'an. Allah musta'an. Now, talking intentionally in prayer, right? This breaks the salah. However, unintentionally saying something, unintentional speech does not break the salah as long as it is a little bit. But if it's a lot, it breaks the salah. And ulama, they say that a lot or a little is judged by the custom of the people. What people understand to be a lot is a lot. What people understand to be a bit is bit. Laughing also breaks the salah. Laughing breaks the salah.
I also heard like laughing during the prayer also relates to the wudu.
In the Hanafi madhab.
Yes.
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 What laughing?
Breaks the
Yeah,
Breaks the wood.
While
Yes.
praying.
while praying.
Yes.
So how much the limit? What is the limit for the laugh?
The laugh, if two letters are clearly pronounced, then it breaks. But if, for example, one, yani, unintentionally, inshallah, it doesn't break the prayer.
Lavan Juma was very big problem.
Allahu Akbar.
While you're younger, it has a big problem.
Point كبار مصري ما بفريش مور.
School in college time.
Here is
Used to
good.
put the Tarawih.
يا مونت ناول.
It was a chaos.
ترولي توسي ولا. C'est pas partout.
Kind of kid.
يقول مثال أنا طول كلها متوسط. I never know.
Sometimes the
School
kids they
time,
are
college
sometimes
time,
they
not
mix.
kid.
Yes.
A little bit. Okay, but
That breaks
this
the
was
That breaks
this
the
was very dangerous.
What if you, for example, you remember something, sometimes subhanAllah, you just remember something funny while you're playing, and then you little bit stretch, you're gonna laugh, or then something funny like happens in front of you while you're playing, so what do you do?
To try.
Focus in the salah. Focus in the
In
salah.
the Hanafi madhab, like
Yeah,
the
this is-
smile
Smiling doesn't break the
doesn't
salah.
break, but the laughing breaks.
Yes.
Okay.
Laughing that has a sound. If two letters are pronounced clearly,
Yeah.
the salah breaks. Right?
So does it count as laughing if you laugh but you don't have your mouth open?
Yeah, if two sounds are pronounced, it breaks.
So even if your mouth is not open.
Even if your mouth is hammered close. But if two letters are pronounced, it breaks the salah.
I mean, like sound. Because how are you
Two
gonna
letters.
pronounce it?
No, if Hamza, for example. So it breaks the salah. It breaks the salah. If two letters are pronounced, it breaks the salah. A lot of moving without any reason. A movement that is outside the act of salah. Right? Someone was asking you, I think we're asking about what counts as a lot of movement.
Yes, because the food books I read so many times, 3 move,
Yes.
yes, and then so
Because you read Shafi'i few books. In the Shafi'i madhab, it's 3 movements, right? But yani, this is a matter of disagreement amongst fuqaha. Many fuqaha, they have their own opinion on this. But yani, wallahu a'lam, the opinion that personally yani, I follow is the opinion that says that what is considered around people to be a lot of movement is a lot, and what is considered a little bit is considered a little bit. If someone, for example, if he were to look at you and he would say this guy is moving too much, then that's too much movement.
Okay.
Right?
I would like I've seen people they move like a pendulum, like this,
You shouldn't move too much like that.
like this.
Move so much and
It
look
seems like they
also.
cannot stand still, like this, the whole salah time, like this.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes.
Should we like advise them not to move like
Yes, yes. We should respect the salah, yani the positions of salah. Yani if someone, yani once or twice, because for example he was standing too long or something like that, maybe. But in salah we should be standing. Qumu lillahi qanitin. Stand before Allah in obedience. Right?
If someone, let's say, if someone is has a habit of clearing the throat, something like that, does it also counts as a laughing because two sounds? So does it breaks his wudu?
That is a matter of.
If it is his habit, if he can change it,
If it is unnecessary.
unnecessary.
If it is unnecessary, then it's better not to do it. Right?
There is the
But if it is necessary, for example, if you are the imam, right, and you are reading aloud, and you don't do that, you are going to suffer.
yes,
So you can do that, and the salah is not invalid. Right?
for Mamun,
For the ma'mum, if you have to, you cannot concentrate. You can. It doesn't break the salah.
like 5-10 times within the one rakah.
يعني if it is عبث يعني if it is يعني without reason, it is nonsensical, then no, a person shouldn't do that. But if they need it, for example, they have an itch in their throat and they can't concentrate, then one time or something.
Okay.
Right? But also, yani, to notify the imam of something, you say with Subhanallah. Right? To notify someone, I mean the imam with something, you should say Subhanallah. Not some people they do that. But
For what? What
to notify the imam.
Some mistakes or something.
Oh yeah.
And in the movement, like some people see that the place in the first surf,
Yes.
so they basically move from the second surf to the first surf.
Yes, barakallah fiqh.
I-
To go
I asked
to the
that's
next
why.
saf
I have
is allowed because it is a movement for the purpose of salah.
I've asked for that.
Right? But a person should, I mean, try to make it a movement that is not continuous. Yani move, for example, give one long step, be still for a bit, and then continue the next step. But if it's a, if it's a continuous movement, you look like you're walking. Yani try not to do that. But to go to the next saf, if someone leaves that place and you go to that, it is very good. You are joining a saf. It is rewarding.
And same will happen if there is some space between the second surf in your own surf, like.
Yes, same. Right?
Okay.
Someone leaves.
Can you move? Can you go? For example, if somebody go
Yes.
2, 3 saf.
Yeah. 2-3 saf.
Yes, because you go after there come three,
Jumma time,
somebody
that's
go,
right.
and you must also.
But it should not be continuous.
I was in Hajj. I saw when I was in Umrah. I saw in Medina and Mecca it happened. People move 3, 4 saf.
I mean, if it's not continuous, because what ulama they say, if you move a lot continuously, it breaks the salah. It's like walking because you're not praying.
From one space to another, then you wait for a second, and
Yes,
then go
yes.
for a second.
Yes. Yani don't make it a continuous
like
move.
this.
Don't make it a continuous move.
That actually happens in the Jumma prayer sometimes here. 2, 3 saf. I personally also moved 2, 3 times, but not continuously, but like
No problem. As long as not continuous.
But this does have a purpose to fulfilling the surf.
Yes.
But it should not look like walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wallah.
Like you're not walking in the state of prayer. Yes.
And another thing what I saw, this is for me very, very dangerous. Was, for example, people walk
an adult is there.
in tawaf. We stand to pray, but people walk to walk on your salah. This is also is not allowed. In salah time they walk.
Yes. This is. I have to check this inshallah because if I'm not mistaken, the haram has an exception. If I'm not mistaken.
I heard that so in Islam it's fine if, as long as you don't step on the sajda
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
it's fine because there is
But
no
you
other
stay
issue.
here, he walk here. Because there is next people from there. They can't walk and they don't stop. You pray, they don't stop, they walk.
There you cannot stop.
I saw in the haram, some people were in front of the imam. So this is not
Yeah, but I tell you, because this for me was very dangerous.
Even now
I
the
tell you,
imam
very
stands
dangerous because they walk, you cannot stop.
There you cannot stop.
Not one.
This is I think
Many,
exception.
many.
That is
like outside the Matafid.
Because what happens
He's not praying in front of the Kaaba.
and when they
Because
are
there
they
was
stop
an
there.
incident like
And then the
few
people
years ago,
are
trying to take an
finding their space.
Very, very
imam.
bad.
Where to go.
Like
For
they
me,
have
I cannot
a
accept
separate
this
area
now.
for the
To
imam.
walk people in salah time. You see salah time, azan time, everything time, iqamah time. You pray and somebody walks still to make tawaf. Why?
Inshallah, this is the last one.
For me, it's not accept.
To pray behind an imam whose
I
imam
cannot accept.
whose being an imam is invalid. Right? For example, his Fatiha is, for example, something like that. Yes. And who doesn't pray with طمأنينة, who doesn't have طمأنينة, for example, his imam is invalid. Right? Who only makes ركوع اعتدال سجود, like in the hadith, يعني the wording يعني فنقرها أربعا لا يذكر الله فيها إلا قليلا كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. He picks it 4 times, like the picking of a bird.
yes.
Right? He picks it, so that salah is invalid. His salah is invalid, and his salah and the salah of the people behind him
Will be in
That's what I have done.
Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. So that was the end of the chapter of Salah. So inshallah for the next one we